Now go to Brendan Clarke-Smith.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. They say an Englishman's home is his castle, or a person's home is their castle if people prefer. And in this country, we have led the way with home ownership for many, many years. And what we must now focus on is making this dream a reality for today's young people and their families. I remember my father used to tell me about his own upbringing in the impoverished Meadows area of Nottingham, and stories of tin baths in the yard and a large family cramped into very small accommodation. It was in the 1950s that they moved to the newly built Clifton estate, which was then the largest council estate in Europe. And this was an estate with well-built homes, indoor bathroom facilities, and bedrooms that were suitable for families. And many of those families who moved to the estate are still there today. And it's a community I'm very proud to hail from. And it was the right to buy and the vision of Margaret Thatcher that encouraged many of those same people to later pursue the dream of home ownership. And today, the same area stands as a testament to the success of that scheme. But we now live in a very different age to those families moving in the 1950s. And as we've heard, by the age of 30, those born between 1981 and 2000, they are half as likely to be homeowners as those who were born between 1946 and 1965. And I was born in 1980s. I'm not quite sure where I fit in within that, probably just missed it. Home ownership doesn't just give us a stake in society, though. It also provides us with security and gives us something to hand down to our children in order to give them a better life. And while some will decry the sale of council houses, it should be recognised that they were not sold, they would still have people living in them anyway. So it doesn't affect general problems with supply. And the fact is that we need a greater supply of housing, and this means building more homes, not just for the future, but also for today's families too. And in Basset Law, people want to be able to buy houses at affordable prices and have access to the funds to be able to finance this. And the emphasis nowadays must be on helping people onto the housing ladder. And this is why schemes such as shared ownership, Help to Buy, and the new 95% mortgages will make such a great difference in helping people to realise this dream. And gone are the days of cheap and nasty buildings, whacked up to meet targets with no regard for infrastructure, building design quality, or community cohesion. And we must learn from the mistakes of the 1960s and 70s. We must also ensure that we build the right sort of housing in the right areas, and developments are not over-intensive, such as some of those we have seen in Worksop, in Retford and in Harworth. And this is why having a good neighbourhood plan that properly takes into account what the community wants means that councils and communities can turn down applications without endless appeals from developers. We need those good quality family homes that I mentioned earlier, and houses need to be affordable for the right reasons, not because corners have been cut as they have been in the past. Affordable must not mean low standard, and these new planning reforms will help to ensure that, as well as helping people onto that very British ladder of home ownership. Thank you, Madam Deputy